For many travelers, the boarding pass feels like the final confirmation. If the flight is on time, the gate is open, and the boarding pass scans successfully once, most people assume boarding is guaranteed. In 2026, that assumption is no longer reliable. Across airports, worldwide, boarding passes are being rejected more often, even when flights are not delayed, and travelers arrive at the gate early. This creates confusion, frustration, and in some cases denied boarding that feels sudden and unexplained. In this video, we explain why boarding passes get rejected even when flights are on time, what systems are involved, and how small factors earlier in the journey often lead to problems at the gate. This is not about panic, it is about understanding how boarding systems actually work. Boarding passes are linked to live systems, not static permission. A boarding pass is not a simple ticket. In 2026, boarding passes are dynamic records connected to multiple systems, including airline reservation systems, document verification systems, security clearance status, and gate and aircraft load systems. When a boarding pass is scanned, it checks against live data. If any required condition is not met at that moment, the pass may be rejected even if it worked earlier. One of the most common reasons a boarding pass is rejected involves documentation. Even after check-in, airlines may still need to confirm passport validity, visa compliance, transit requirements, and destination entry rules. If a document issue is identified late, the boarding pass can be flagged. This often happens when a rule changes between booking and departure, a transit requirement is misunderstood, or documentation needs manual review. The boarding pass does not override compliance rules. Many travelers assume boarding continues until departure time. In reality, gate systems close earlier. In 2026, boarding is often closed 10 to 20 minutes before departure, earlier on international routes and earlier when aircraft turnaround time is tight. Once the system closes, boarding passes are automatically rejected. Gate agents cannot override closed systems easily. Airlines rely on boarding groups to manage aircraft balance and cabin space. If a traveler boards outside their assigned group, misses their boarding window, or is not present when called, the boarding pass may be rejected temporarily or permanently. This is especially common when boarding is nearly complete, overhead space is limited, or staff are preparing for door closure. Boarding orders no longer flexible in many situations. Seat assignments are linked to boarding permissions. If a seat change occurs late, it may take time for systems to synchronize. Boarding passes may be rejected when a seat was changed at the counter, an upgrade cleared late, or an aircraft was swapped. Until systems update fully, the boarding pass may not scan correctly. This often requires manual resolution, which takes time. Security clearance and boarding approval are connected. If a traveler was selected for additional screening, experienced a delay at security, or cleared screening close to boarding time, the boarding system may not update instantly. This can result in a temporary rejection when scanning. Timing matters more than travelers realize. In some cases, boarding passes are flagged due to carry-on issues. This happens when a bag was marked for gate check, a carry-on exceeded limits, or a personal item was flagged. The system may pause boarding approval until the issue is resolved. If time runs out, boarding may be denied. Gate changes are common in 2026. When a gate changes, boarding systems reset, scanning equipment updates, and passenger lists synchronize. Travelers who arrive late to a new gate may encounter scanning issues. A boarding pass that worked earlier may need revalidation. Many travelers expect gate agents to resolve scanning issues quickly. In 2026, gate agents are constrained by automated systems, safety protocols, and departure deadlines. They often cannot override a rejection once the system has progressed. This is why explanations or appeals rarely change outcomes late in boarding. Most boarding pass rejections are not sudden. They are the result of small document mismatches, late arrival to the gate, missed boarding windows, or system timing conflicts. The rejection is the final signal, not the starting point. From a traveler's perspective, the flight is on time. the boarding pass looks valid, and the gate appears open. But boarding systems operate on rules, not appearances. Once certain thresholds are crossed, boarding is no longer possible regardless of intent or effort. Prepared travelers arrive at the gate earlier than boarding time, monitor boarding groups closely, verify documents before travel, respond promptly to instructions, and keep carry-on items compliant. They assume systems are strict, not flexible. If a boarding pass is rejected, remain calm, follow instructions, and allow staff to check the system. Escalation rarely helps. Time is the most critical factor. Once departure procedures begin, options decrease quickly. Air travel systems have become more automated, more interconnected, and less flexible. These changes reduce delays overall, but increase consequences for small timing errors. Boarding pass rejection is a system outcome, not a personal judgment. A boarding pass is not a promise. It is a conditional approval that depends on timing, compliance, and system status. Understanding this helps travelers avoid last-minute surprises and reduces frustration at the gate. In the next video, we will explain what can get travelers pulled aside after security screening and why it often has nothing to do with wrongdoing.